All right, welcome back to our special coverage of the Kevin McCarthy ouster. The other big story that we're looking at tonight, day 2 of the Trump civil fraud case. Former President Trump hit with a gag order by the judge as this ridiculous case is somehow politically escalated even further. A completely manufactured case with no victims now cannot be criticized by the former president.
So he was very vocal. I love it. He's kind of critiquing the trial live in real time on Truth Social, and then he comes out and he says something more. I don't think this is what the prosecutors were planning for, especially Letitia James, notoriously of limited intellectual and legal ability. She really is kind of a joke. She was a joke in New York. I've known this woman for about 15 years. It's kind of astonishing that she is the attorney general of this state, but she is, and this is actually happening. And the Judge Engoron, he literally looks like a clown. He certainly dresses like one. He made interesting, rather stupid remarks in 2015 before a class of college students out in Queens. Take a look.
A lot of what I do involves motions, these summary judgment motions I mentioned. And all right, am I following the law or am I making law? Okay, I'm following law. I'm an impartial referee, but it's hard to factor out my own emotions. And I have tools. Somebody can say, well, Your Honor, you have to throw out this case because it's just like another case. Well, is it just like another case?
Factor out your own emotions. He's going to factor in his emotions? This is a very strange man.
You can see him flexing what limited power he has. He's trying to show off in front of a group of college students there. This is the judge that declared that Mar-a-Lago, that sits on 17 acres, prime oceanfront Palm Beach, is only worth about $1 million an acre. It would be the real estate deal of the century. Trump back in court for day 2 today. Here's how he sounded this morning.
Judge Engoron has been given false and extremely misleading information about my net worth. Private company, nobody's supposed to know my net worth, but he's been given false information, misleading information, and corrupt information by a very corrupt and incompetent Attorney General, Letitia James. This case should be dismissed. This is not a case. And she should probably be dismissed also because she's terrible and grossly incompetent, as I've said.
I love it. And again, I don't think they were counting on it. Sebastian Gorka joins us. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden had his own legal troubles today. Hey, Sebastian, first off, what do you think of this whole thing with Speaker McCarthy?
That's what happens when you promise America you'll do something to stop the DOJ and the FBI persecuting conservatives and persecuting a former and, God willing, if we do our part, future president, when you promise to stop the outrageous spending, secure the border, or at least defund parts of DHS that are functioning unconstitutionally. Look, Kevin McCarthy, I don't think is a bad man. He's not evil. Mitch McConnell is bad, but he was weak and he broke his promises. They have been in power, or he's been in power for 9 months, and a very simple question. What have you delivered? You haven't even subpoenaed Hunter Biden. You have subpoena powers. How long are we going to wait till after the election? So, no, I'm very glad this happened. The 8 MAGA voices have spoken, and they've spoken for about 73 million Americans who are just fed up and don't want business as usual.
I want to talk a little bit more about the Trump case today, and I want to show the juxtaposition. If you saw the video, and we can play it one more time, yes, of Hunter Biden walking into court, I mean, he's loving life. He's patting his lawyers on the back, big smile. I mean, here's a guy that knows he's got the system rigged in his favor. He's had the DOJ working for years now to make sure he doesn't get charged with any crimes. He's going to weasel out of this one way or another, and he knows it as he walks into court. On the other hand, you got Trump sitting there being charged because he allegedly lied about valuations on loans that he paid back with interest that the banks made a lot of money on. You see how this system works. Seeing them both together in court in the same day, to me, was just such a difference.
Oh, it's the perfect juxtaposition. It tells you that we have no justice in America. As a very wise caller on my radio show said, stop talking about a two-tier system of justice. If you have any number of tiers, you don't have justice. You simply have the capricious application of so-called justice. Let's be clear what happened in the court in New York. This judge was mugging for the camera yesterday as he puts a gag order on the president, summarily ordered the closure of President Trump's companies without a victim. Let's be clear here. If you get a bank loan, the bank has to inspect the property, has to evaluate it. If you were defrauded in any way, shape, or form, you are the complainant. The fact that these banks aren't the victims, there are no victims, and they're not the complainants, means one thing and one thing alone. This is just another version of Fani Willis, of Jack Smith, of Judge Chutkan. These are people who must stop the president because they cannot control the will of the American people. They want to make it impossible for Americans to re-elect President Trump. And that is the ultimate assault on our Constitution.
Hey, Sebastian, I'm looking at President Trump's comments today on Truth Social. Basically nothing about Speaker McCarthy. A vague, oblique kind of reference to it. I have a feeling he's totally okay with this. I'll never forget when McCarthy basically said Donald Trump, was impeachable because of January 6th, which was kind of crazy. And quite frankly, on the January 6th stuff, he's been a big disappointment. So I have a feeling the former president, maybe future president, is kind of okay where things went today. So we'll see. Sebastian Gorka, so appreciated as usual. Thank you, sir.
God bless. Thank you, guys.